Hello everyone, and welcome back to another week of News Bytes. This week's newsletter is called A Nation Possessed, and I'm going to get right into it. From Eliyahu. Shalom friends. I'm pretty sure we all realize from the Gospels that individuals can literally be possessed by evil spirits. However, have you ever considered whether a nation can be possessed? Probably the first modern-day nation fitting that description that comes to mind was Hitler's Germany under Nazi rule. Indeed, the occultism of the Nazi elite has been well documented and reported upon. If one considers the demonically driven Nazi lust for world domination as the main motivator behind World War II, then the Nazis are responsible for the deaths of over 70 million people in the course of the war. It is estimated that they directly killed well over 20 million people, many in their concentration and labor camps, with 6 million plus of them being Jews, as only one targeted fraction of the demonically inspired death frenzy of the Nazis upon their own people. Yet, the Nazis were not the only regime of the 20th century that behaved like crazed, demon-possessed mass killers. Think about this number: 262 million. The late Professor R.J. Rummel estimated national governments murdered 262 million unarmed civilians in mass killings he termed democide during the 20th century. He commented, "This democide murdered 6 times more people than died in combat in all the foreign and internal wars of the century." Most of the big killer nations have been communist and other totalitarian regimes, but democratic nations also added to the carnage. Indeed, the blood from the mountain of mass murderers cries out from the ground as a witness against nations possessed by a murderous evil spirit. Here in the USA, we can't really say we don't have government-sponsored murder. We do. It's called abortion, and it's been going on since the 70s. In fact, the main government-supported practitioner of the murder of unborn children in the USA is Planned Parenthood, the eugenics organization founded by the famed communist Margaret Sanger. Many people today don't know that the founder of Planned Parenthood was deeply involved in the occult. Her child, Peggy Sanger, died of pneumonia on November 6, 1915. Margaret Sanger's biography explains how she sought to reconnect with the spirit of her deceased daughter through the help of occult spirits. Quote, "Margaret Sanger spent the rest of her life searching and often finding this ethereal, levitating daughter in the spirit world. At the time of Peggy's death, Sanger recalled earlier dreams now understood as predictions. The number 6, Peggy died November 6, figured prominently in these memories, and to discover their significance, she consulted astrologists and mediums, attended seances, and educated herself on the mechanics of spiritualism." End quote. This was from Margaret Sanger, A Life with Passion, published in 2012. Could Planned Parenthood really be an occult apparatus originally designed to sacrifice innocent children to facilitate the dark occult purposes of Margaret Sanger? Another word for the deliberately innocuous phrase, the mechanics of spiritualism, is witchcraft. Yes, that makes Sanger a witch. And it suggests that Planned Parenthood may be exactly what it looks like: a vile and murderous device of a demonically deceived witch. Of course, today, not everyone running that empire of misery is a witch. Some are simply involved for the money. Planned Parenthood alone makes almost $1.3 billion, killing 324,000 unborn babies in abortions per year. Clearly, murder of the helpless and innocent can be very profitable. The obscene profits only make the abortion mill more disgusting than it already would be if it really was a civil rights organization. If civil rights are involved at all, they are the rights of the unborn to not be murdered before they even have a chance to take a breath, much less than to be allowed to live and have a life like the fortunate children who are spared and not offered up to the demonic abortion god. That this nation has been the home and protector of this demonic monster for decades causes one to wonder, could America actually be a nation possessed? In Sanger's day, witchcraft was frowned upon, so the occult was shunned by the mainstream. This is not so anymore, because now witchcraft has become mainstream. Not only is it glorified in all of the popular entertainment today, but you can easily go online to find thousands of titles of books and DVDs teaching all aspects of witchcraft in the occult. There's even apps on how to do spells. People all around you in your community whom you would never suspect are doing just that. See the article reprinted below for details on just how widespread witchcraft itself has now become. This is the way of the occult. Let in a little, and soon it spreads like gangrene, corrupting every fabric and fiber of a nation. That's exactly why Yahweh warned his people. There shall not be found with you anyone who makes his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, one who uses divination, one who practices sorcery, or an enchanter, or a sorcerer, or a charmer, or a consulter with a familiar spirit, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For whoever does these things is an abomination to Yahweh. Deuteronomy 18:10-12. Today, America has been overrun by all these demonic practices Yahweh calls an abomination. How could the unbridled spread of all this demonic evil be possible here, except that America has become a nation possessed? Wherever the occult is on the throne, the natural order of creation is stood on its head, and what is good is called bad, and the bad is called good. Every awake, Bible-believing person in America, and the rest of the civilized world for that matter, has got to be alarmed by just how quickly and pervasively this very thing is happening. From religion, to marriage, to food, to the human genome, nothing is sacred anymore. All is being tampered with. All is being corrupted. And where are the government leaders who are supposed to be protecting nature and protecting the citizens? One has only to consider the real news to know that politicians and bureaucrats alike are, with few exceptions, traitorously sold out to the evil, and far from protecting the people from it, they are the facilitators of it. Sodomites, witches, and soulless corporations are the focus of government protection and favors, while honest, hard-working citizens are penalized as deplorable obstacles to the brave new world. This is indeed a nation possessed, a world possessed, and any reader of the book of Revelation should be able to foresee where this is going. Yes, there is a courageous resistance, but in the end, the vision of Revelation must happen, and all of these demonic streams will converge into a putrid but mighty river that cannot be stopped. Unclean spirits are even now leading the nations of the world to the valley of decision, to Armageddon. My best suggestion for any truth-loving person is this: get off of that bus now before it gets to the end of the line. This is why we send out this newsletter and publish all that we do and read it every week for you, so that you can see the unvarnished urgency of the times, so that you can know the unvarnished truth, and so that you can act on that truth and not be fooled by the demons who are running this world. There is another way, and that's Messiah's way. His is the way to life and to safety in these troubled times. Invest your time now in learning from Messiah, and you will be ready to face the enemy and be successful. If you want to watch this full meeting, A Nation Possessed, you can just click right here, and the reason I didn't really give much comments on it was because it was a long newsletter. Remember to like and subscribe, and the link to the newsletter is down below.